Hello, welcome to On Point, Stephen Foster edition. I'm James Scully, joined by Vance Hansen. And before we get to the 5 stakes at Churchill Downs this Saturday night, Vance, I wanted to get your thoughts on last weekend's Belmont Stakes Extravaganza program, massive program with 10 stakes.
Well, personally, the thing I was most disappointed about the Belmont Stakes was me jumping off of Taproot and going on with J-Boy's Echo, who ran way up the track on the Belmont day. So after talking for weeks and weeks about Taproot being my backup to Classic Empire and then not having him on Saturday was a little kick in the pants, so to speak. But Taproot, pretty impressive, running down Irish War Cry. It was just basically those 2 horses in the Belmont Stakes. The rest of them weren't even really in contention late. So those 2 kind of stuck out to me. I'm not sure either one of those 2 is going to be 3-year-old championship material. We got to wait for the Haskell, Travers, etc. this summer to find out how this division shakes out.
Yeah, I came away with sort of similar thoughts about Taproot and Irish War Cry. Definitely like the races they turned in. They're very nice 3-year-olds. It's just, I don't know whether they can come back and win any stakes going forward this year or not. I mean, they very well may be able to. Other thought I had on the program, besides just, Mike Smith and Bob Baffert, how they dominated, I did want to mention Bob Baffert's 3-year-olds, West Coast and American Anthem. They got a little bit of different profile where American Anthem went off form a little bit early in the year, and now he's back in just terrific form off that Woody Stevens win. West Coast, more of a late blooming type. Ran a big race in the Lexington Stakes, his first stakes race, came back, crushed allowance rivals, and then made short work of his foes in the Easy Goer last Saturday. And they both are coming on right now, are those kind of, everybody knows what Baffert did last year with Arrogate, where he came on in the second half of the season. So those are 2 3-year-olds I would just mention to be looking out for going forward.
Yeah, it's a very good point about Baffert having Arrogate last year. Kind of picked up the pieces when we had not a very clear 3-year-old leader after the Triple Crown. And West Coast obviously can move up. I know Baffert's looking for a bigger game next out. He could be a Haskell horse to look out for.
Right, Baffert's an 8-time Haskell winner. All right, well, let's get to Saturday night's program at Churchill Downs. More than $1 million being offered in 5 stakes, topped by the $500,000 Stephen Foster Handicap. And Vance wrote a good piece this week at Brisnet about the history of the Stephen Foster, about how it's really risen in stature in the last couple decades. And we have a strong field this year. 7 of the 8 runners are graded stakes winners, topped by Gunrunner, who ran 3rd in the Derby, was a top class 3-year-old all year last year, closed his 3-year-old campaign with a big win in the Clark at Churchill, and opened this year with a real big win, easy win at Oaklawn before finishing a big second to Arrogate in Dubai World Cup. And you have any early thoughts about the Stephen Foster field?
Just looking at the past performances as they came out a short time ago, there is a lot of speed in this particular race. We have Birdtown on the inside, we have Stanford on the far outside. Gunrunner has been doing his very best work of late, running on the front end. Right. I think he's going to have to maybe take off and revert back to the running style that helped him win some Derby preps early last year at Fairgrounds. I just don't see him, getting into a pace battle with some of these other horses. And of course, we also have Breaking Lucky, who didn't break Lucky in the Ali Sheba. A lot of people expected him to be on the front end, and he was pretty much wiped out after the first furlong or so. So it's going to be a pace scenario that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And I think one horse that I don't think he might be good enough to beat Gunrunner with his very best shot, I think Honorable Duty, who won the New Orleans Handicap, ran a bang-up second to Birdsong in the Ali Sheba. When going against the grain of the track, I think he's one to look out for as a potential upsetter.
Yeah, and like you said, he won the New Orleans. He won the Mineshaft as well at Fairgrounds early this year, and he'll be looking to pick him up late. Was rallying in the Ali Sheba when Birdsong, broke from the rail, which we chronicled. The inside part of the track was great on Friday and Saturday of Derby weekend, and then led wire to wire. So he took advantage of basically, the same kind of he was on the same part of the track as Always Dreaming in the Derby. Derby and carried his speed that day. But there will be plenty of pace, and I think Gunrunner will have to take back. I'll mention another race on the card. Look forward to the Florida Lease. It has features a return of Forever Unbridled, making her first start since running third to Beholder and Songbird in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She won the Apple Blossom and the Beldame last year. Multiple Grade 1 winner for Dallas Stewart, and looking forward to her getting back. And she's coming back against a pretty solid field that has the winner of the Matron in there, as well as the top two, Big World and Romantic Vision from the Grade 1 La Troyenne. Any thoughts on that race?
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how well Forever Unbridled comes back off that long layoff. A 1.125 is often a tough task for anybody to come back at that particular distance. And but you know, you have to realize that there's bigger goals ahead this summer and fall for Forever Unbridled. So even if she doesn't, you know, win the race, it's going to suit her well for any upcoming stakes engagements that she has. And obviously she's going to be prepping for the Breeders' Cup Distaff at Del Mar, and we'll see if she's improved enough to possibly put a little more scare into the types of Songbird.
Yeah, and those are that's what horse players will be facing. Two big favorites there, Forever Unbridled and Gunrunner. You know, that there might be a better chance for some value in the surrounding races. I'll mention the Matt Wynn as well. That's a short field with McCracken coming back. He'll be an overwhelming favorite. But two turf races have pretty solid fields in them. Pluvin's a horse defending champ, but he's meeting a pretty well-matched field in the Wazdan. And the other one is Regret for 3-year-old fillies, which I think got 10 or 11 in there. So it should be a good betting race. I think it completes the sequence of 5 stakes. So I'll be up. You'll be up there on Friday at Churchill, and I'll be there on Saturday night with Ed DeRosa. So you can check out our coverage on Twinspire's different social media channels. And thanks for watching another edition of On Point.